This is the Solimo Pro Advanced electric toothbrush. I've been putting it through its paces and I'm here to give you my opinions on it. So I'm going to jump in straight with my verdict then, because that's what you ultimately want to know. Is this toothbrush worth buying? And the answer is definitely yes. The Solimo Pro is a good performing electric toothbrush. It's not made by a brand leader, but it has a lot of the features and design elements that you would expect to see from the leading brand like Philips Sonicare. It's simple and effective and it does the job, and it does it at a fairly affordable price point as well. So let's look at some of the main pros and cons to this electric toothbrush. So let's start off with the nice grippy handle. Here on the front of the handle we've got a few plastic raised ridges. We've also got some on the back, which means it actually holds nicely in the hand. It doesn't feel too slippy when wet, which is nice. You can get a nice reassured grip on this electric toothbrush. Has just one cleaning mode, nothing confusing about this. Power the toothbrush on, let it run for the 2-minute clean, and that's the only brushing mode you need, and it cleans the teeth really well. So no confusing additional modes to worry about. It has a built-in 2-minute timer and 30-second pacer, which encourages you to brush your teeth evenly and for the recommended 2 minutes, so that's a bonus as well. And then lastly, the other main pro is the price. It's a very good value option and you certainly save yourself a few dollars in comparison to going for the brand leader. What are some of the cons? Well, the main con I think has to be the lack of a pressure sensor. It's very easy to do damage to the teeth and gums by consistently brushing with too much force or pressure. Now, it's not a make or break deal, but it'd be nice if this toothbrush did have some form of alert if you're brushing too hard. Unfortunately, it doesn't. You just need to remember you don't need to scrub the teeth. Let the toothbrush do the work and skim the tooth and gum surfaces. It's a fairly simple design. It's not the most attractive or appealing electric toothbrush, but it's functional, so although the design is a bit of a con, it's not the worst thing. And also then the battery technology is a little bit of a negative. It uses a nickel metal hydride battery in comparison to lithium ion batteries, which many people prefer nowadays. I'm not saying that it provides inferior performance, it's just something to be aware of because some particularly like lithium ion batteries. So let's dig a little bit more into the details if you want to know more about this toothbrush. So for all intents and purposes, this is very much like a Philips Sonicare electric toothbrush. Let's not make any qualms about this. It looks very much like a Sonicare toothbrush. It performs very much like a Sonicare electric toothbrush as well. And I have to say the cleaning performance of this is certainly comparable, in my opinion, to a Philips Sonicare. I think you'd be hard pushed to tell the difference in a sort of blind test. You get this sort of larger brush head in comparison to the likes of Oral-B that have small round brush heads. So this larger brush head can potentially make it a little bit more difficult to reach certain parts of the mouth, particularly if you have a crowded set of teeth, but overall the clean provided from this is very good. You also have fading indicator bristles built into the brush head, so they'll actually fade over time to alert you when you need to replace your brush head. And as a general rule, you need to replace it on average every 3 months. There's just this single power button here to turn the brush on. Now, you may be able to hear that. You just get a sort of strong vibration from the toothbrush. It doesn't make too much noise. It's relatively quiet, which is nice. Although I turned that on and off there, you do have to turn this toothbrush on to, of course, use it. But what it will actually do at the end of a 2-minute clean is automatically power itself off. And at 30-second intervals, it will also pause the brush head motion very slightly, which also changes the sound, and that's your alert to move to different quadrants of the mouth. So that built-in timer and pacer is very useful there as well. It's a water-resistant handle, so you can give it a quick rinse under the tap and you don't need to worry about it. And another thing to note, that something you don't always get in quite good value toothbrushes is a battery status icon. So whilst you can't necessarily see it here with my hands on, down the bottom there is an indicator that will show you how much power remains in the battery. So you can also see if it needs charging and if it's on charge, if it's completed its charge, etc. So that's a really nice feature as well. So the Solimo Pro Advanced has a suggested battery life of around about 2 weeks. The good news is that in my hands-on testing, I actually achieved 25 days from this battery, which is obviously a lot better than 2 weeks. So 2 weeks is really going to be the minimum that you're going to get from it on a full charge. So you can easily go away on vacation and not have to worry about taking the charging stand with you. It does come provided with a charging stand. That's a 2-pin power adapter that obviously connect to the power supply here in the US and in Canada as well. If you were to travel with this electric toothbrush, you do need to be wary that you might need a voltage adapter and potentially a plug adapter, particularly if you went to the likes of Europe. But you may not even need to take the charging stand because you're going to get several weeks of battery life from this. You don't get a travel case or anything for this. You do get a small plastic cap that goes over the brush head that could protect it if you were traveling, but no travel case included for the price here. To recharge the battery in here, it takes up to 16 hours for a full charge. But as I say, you get plenty of battery life from that 16 hours of charge. So Solimo is a brand that is managed by Amazon. So at the time of recording, the only place you can buy this is from Amazon.com. You won't pick this up in your local grocery store or pharmacy. So that does limit the availability of things like brush heads. Whilst they don't advertise a suggested retail price, the average selling price is around about $32 for this electric toothbrush, and that includes a brush head as well. Replacement brush heads cost around $4, a little over per brush head, and you need to replace those every 3 months. So over the life of ownership of this electric toothbrush, it actually works out fairly good value for money. The Philips Sonicare equivalent is a little bit more expensive to certainly buy outright. You're looking at $40 to $50, so there's a $20 premium just on the cost of the brush handle, and that's not including the cost of the replacement brush heads, which typically are double the price of the Solimo equivalent. So you can see where the price savings are. So if ultimately you're not too worried about going for one of the leading brands, then this will offer exceptionally good value. It provides a very comparable cleaning performance and daily use. So I give this a very high recommendation, and I think you could really enjoy using this electric toothbrush if you want something that's good value for money. Hope you found this video useful. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. For more videos like this, click subscribe. And until next time, thanks for watching.